There was a time when watching a movie felt simple. You went in, you sat down, you watched it. You didn't know what the Rotten Tomatoes score was. You didn't know whether Twitter had already decided that it was overrated or disappointing or just mid. You weren't talking with a head full of opinions that weren't even yours. You just let the movie play and you enjoyed or didn't enjoy what was there. And honestly, I really miss that, because when I think about why I fell in love with movies and why I started all of this, it had nothing to do with scores or consensus. It was about moments, about feelings, about walking out of that cinema or, feeling something emotional, genuinely happy. And I'd spent hours watching something that had worked for me or hadn't worked for me, and that was fine. I didn't think movies are worse now. I think the way that we approach them has changed dramatically. And somewhere along the line, we stopped letting movies speak for themselves. Now we load ourselves up with information before we've even seen a frame. We listen to reactions, rankings, hot takes, thumbnails, all of these things telling us what to think before we've had our own chance to make up our own mind. And once that happens, the experience has already been compromised. Because it's hard to enjoy a movie when part of your brain is already whispering at you, people don't think this is very good, why should you be any different? You're not watching anymore, you're evaluating and you're wanting to fit in, and I catch myself doing it and I hate it. I sit there waiting for the moment where the film proves that everyone else was right, looking for the flaw, the weak scene, the bit that explains why it got that score. And even if you're enjoying yourself, there's this weird voice in the back of your head that's asking you, should I? Well, if you're enjoying it, absolutely. That's such a joyless way to engage with something that is made to bring you fun. These are not exams. We're not going to be tested on them at the end of it. They're experiences. We can switch off if we're not enjoying it. Sometimes these movies are loud and ridiculous, and sometimes they're messy, uneven, rough around the edges. And sometimes all they're trying to do is give you a good time for a couple of hours. Who cares if there's a sequel? Who cares if they're building a universe? That should be enough. We've created this strange idea that if a movie isn't universally loved, it must somehow just be rubbish. And it's like enjoyment needs permission, and it doesn't. Art has never worked this way. Someone else not liking a film doesn't mean it's failed. Just because it didn't do well at the box office doesn't mean it's not a great movie. And that distinction feels like something that we've lost along the way. Some of my favourite films are films that other people don't rate highly at all. They're flawed, they've got issues. You can pick them to pieces if you want to, but when I watch them, they connected to me. They've made me laugh, they've made me cry, they've entertained me, they've given me something. And that experience doesn't suddenly stop mattering because a score or a review says otherwise. I come back to it. Enjoyment does not need permission. I also think that we underestimate how much movie pressure is there. Everyone has to be everything all at once. Fans, critics, casual viewers. We need to start just enjoying these movies again. And when it doesn't, we don't say that it didn't quite work. We say that this shouldn't exist. It's just such an extreme reaction to something that is meant to entertain us. Especially when you consider how we consume movies now. Streaming has given us endless choice, but it's also given us zero patience. There's always another option. There's always another recommendation, a better movie that's queued up and ready to go. So we are quicker to abandon movies, quicker to dismiss them and quicker to move on. But movies were never meant to compete like that. They are meant to be sat with, pondered over. These are art, these are experiences. And this isn't about ignoring criticism. Bad movies exist, lazy writing exists. But criticism without empathy becomes hollow. You are criticising for the sake of it. A movie can stumble and still succeed emotionally. It can be uneven and give you that scene that sticks with you for years and still be worth your time watching it again. Those moments are why we love movies in the first place. Not because they are perfect, but because they mean something to us. That is the mindset that I want this channel to live in going forward, okay? I am not here to tell you what you're allowed to like and what you're not allowed to like. I'm not here to chase outrage or pretend that every film is great. I'm here to talk about how these movies make me feel without loaded judgment. If a movie has made you laugh, then that matters because it made you happy and no one else can change that. If it gave you a great night at the cinema, a great first date, even if other people disagree, it doesn't matter because it means something to you. So if you're like someone who likes going into movies blind, if you're tired of letting scores decide your expectations, if you still believe that films are allowed to be flawed, human and fun, then you are absolutely in the right place. And if you disagree with me, then that is fine too. These movies are subjective, they always have been. But that is the point, right? That is why we do this. And that is why we love movies. There are plenty of films that are coming up that fall under this vein that I am going to start reviewing soon. We've got Six Underground, not thought very highly of, but I had an absolute whale of a time. Free Guy is another one. Mainly action movies, then yes, they're not what we had in the 90s, but that doesn't mean that they're not still fun and enjoyable and engaging. We've got Shrinking Series 3 coming up, big things there coming. I really believe that we need to get back to loving film and enjoying movies, not just this film. It's Oscar nominated, it's got buzz, it's got this. I don't care about that. If you have fun at a film, then that's what I want to hear about. So let me know in the comments, what is your favourite film that everybody else hates? Brett Goldstein has got a great podcast. One of his questions is, what is that one film that you love that everybody else hates? I've got mine, I'm sure you've got yours, and I want to hear them. So guys, as always, we are back. Keep on smashing. Have an amazing day. I'll see you on the next one.